So again, my name is Jeni Henrickson, and I am from the University of Minnesota. I work at the Learning Technologies Media Lab there. My colleague, Dr. Aaron During, is the director of the lab, and he's also a professor in our Learning Technologies academic program. Unfortunately, he can't be here today. But I'm going to be talking to you today about our Earthication project. Quickly, though, just a little bit about our lab. We are part of the College of Education and Human Development. The lab is focused on doing actual design and development and research around all different types of technology-enhanced learning, so online learning environments, mobile technologies. And then we also have a Learning Technologies academic program that we offer master's degrees and PhDs. Most of our students are teachers, practicing teachers, so it was very interesting, Dagmar, to hear your presentation. I love how you're bringing students in and giving them hands-on real-world experience. We do that with teachers in our program. So we like to say that we are focused on creating experiences, not products. We believe in the power of the story, in transformational learning for students of all backgrounds, and in engaging learners through real-world issues. So Earthication is focused on intersections between education and sustainability. So how do different forms of education, whether those are formal in a classroom, informal, through maybe an environmental learning center, and traditional learning as well. So what students are learning at home, what students in indigenous communities are learning from their elders. How do those different forms of education impact sustainable development around the world? So I'm going to share a quick video with you where Aaron's going to introduce the project here.
For over a decade, I've delivered adventure learning programs throughout the entire circumpolar Arctic. This is while traveling by dog sled, as I communicated with educators, students, and scientists about my research and experiences. I soon realized there was a drastic disconnect between how students in the Arctic were being educated and what they needed and wanted to sustain lives within their region. They were experiencing a loss of culture, a loss of language in these regions that were being impacted greatly by climate change. I felt there needed to be research and education around what education means to people and how their education relates to sustainability. From this experience, Earthication was born. Funded by the Institute of the Environment and the Learning Technologies Media Lab at the University of Minnesota, Earthication seeks to meet a challenge put forth by the United Nations as part of its Decade of Education for Sustainable Development. Traveling by motorcycle, foot, bike, and SUV, my colleague, Charles Miller, and I will visit 7 climate hotspots around the world, places particularly impacted by climate change. In each location, we will interview local people about their beliefs on education and sustainability. We will visit schools and document educational experiences. We will explore the cultural and physical geography of the region. Web-based daily updates, lesson plans, and video feeds from the trail will connect us and the diverse cultures and communities we visit with the classrooms and learners of all ages around the world. Visitors to the Earthication Enviro Network website will be invited to share their video stories, bringing individual threads of experience together to weave a global tapestry depicting how education and sustainability can inform and, more importantly, complement each other.
So to date, we've actually visited 6 different continents. We've been in the North American Arctic, in Burkina Faso and Africa, in northern Norway, in Nepal, that was our most recent trip, in Australia, and in South America, and we were in Peru and Chile there. Our final trip will be to Antarctica then. So we've visited 76 different communities, again on 6 different continents to date. We've captured 243 formal interviews, and in addition to that, we've had 401 posts to our Enviro Network, and that's where the general public can just go on and post their own video talking about their beliefs about education and sustainability. So, and we've captured over 3,700 gigabytes of media, and that's been in the form primarily of video and photographs. So we have a main education hub, a website that talks about the project overall and the team. And from there, learners can link out to individual websites that have been created, online learning sites that have been created for each of the expeditions. So again, our most recent expedition was to Nepal. And each of these individual sites, they have posts that are live from the field. We also have information about the team, and then we have information about the country and the communities that are being visited and the specific issues around sustainability and education that exist there. And we have resources then for teachers. So we have lesson plans for teachers along with a multitude of different online resources that they can access related to the issues in that country. In addition, as I mentioned, we have the Enviro Network, and this is where learners can go on and post their own self-video. And again, we have 401 posts there to date. So I'm just going to share really quickly. This is one of the videos. We capture all the video in the field and edit it in the field while we're traveling. So this is one of the videos that was captured from our most recent expedition. And this is in a small village called Nangi, where they're doing some really amazing things around sustainability within a community of less than 500 people.
So here we are in Nangi village in Nepal, and we've had just an amazing experience over the last few days. We've been spending time with Chitra, who is our coordinator, and also our translator, and he has such a connection to the people, such a connection to the land. He just has this passion for education, and this passion of what education provides, not only for himself, but also for the people of Nepal.
My name is Chitra Pun. I was born in Ramche village. I'm working as a coordinator of community projects in this area. Here in the mountain, in the context of this area, most of people are getting well education than before. Education is the most important thing in the life of every people. Either it may be less educated or higher educated, it doesn't matter. Because education is a tool of life that teaches us to survive or to live in the village or in the city or anywhere you go.
Well, it's only about 7:30 in the morning.
So I'm not going to go through and show this whole video, but we have all of these videos posted from the field, photographs, and then field notes from the field that are posted on each of the individual websites for the projects. Now, as you can imagine, with over 3,700 gigabytes of data, we're still going through and analyzing, and we still have one more trip to go. But some of the themes that have been sort of captured so far through the trips and the analyzing the data that we have gone through to date. Of course, an important one is culture and language are closely tied to the natural environment in which they originate, and they influence sustainability within that environment. We've noticed this obviously most keenly in indigenous communities that have been forced, removal from their traditional lands, have been forced into formal schooling. There's been many, many disruptions there, obviously, and a lot of those communities now are going back and trying to include elders, include others from their community in the formal schooling to try to revive language, revive traditional knowledge there. We had some really amazing experiences where some of the schools that we visited are providing these really rich experiential learning opportunities to the youth, and then again establishing relationships between the community elders and the schools. This is a really important component in helping those youth engage with the environment and with local issues of sustainability. I'm just going to show this as a very quick video clip from a field trip that we went on in northwestern Alaska with a group of high school students and science teachers and also elders from the community. The temperature that day, and apologies, I'm going to be giving this in Fahrenheit, it was minus 20 degrees was Fahrenheit, was the air temperature that day. The students were out, we traveled by snowmobile. I participated in this trip and we were out for over 7 hours in those temperatures. The students were collecting water samples and snow samples and water depth readings, and they were bringing that information back to their school, not only to be used in their science classroom, but they were also sharing it with the local town community so that they could help plan safe routes across the ice. So it was a really amazing experience and incredible that I come from Minnesota. It's very cold there. If it's minus 20 degrees, they close the schools. So these kids were out on a field trip outdoors in those temperatures.
We headed out in minus 20-degree temps on a field trip with several students and teachers from Kotzebue High School. The students were collecting ice, snow, and water depth readings and water samples from around Kotzebue Sound. The trip spanned 60 miles by snow machine and lasted 7.5 hours. What an amazing educational experience with some incredibly strong kids.
So again, tied to that, traditional education and knowledge are necessary components to establishing environmental sustainability. Schools around the world, we've noticed particularly in the Arctic and in indigenous Aboriginal communities in Australia, need to do a better job of adapting to local culture, seasons, and rhythms. And of course, online and mobile tech are offering great opportunities to some of these rural and remote communities, both to extend learning opportunities to the community, but also to capture and preserve knowledge that's being lost as elders are passing away. So I just wanted to mention quickly, so our site is online, it's eartheducation.com. We have a new project that's coming up starting actually next year called The Changing Earth, which is going to be looking at some of these same issues, but it's going to be very focused on STEM learning with a STEM curriculum. And again, this project was funded by the Institute on the Environment at the University of Minnesota. And thank you for your time.